Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Home Field Locks podcast. I'm Danny here with Gavin and Logan. How you guys doing?
Pretty
Doing
good.
good. Glad to be back.
Yep. And our recap, it wasn't too extensive last time. It's really only me and Gavin for college. Then Logan came in for NFL. College hoops, I did pretty well. I feel like Gavin, you just faded me a couple times, really, just to go the opposite. College football, we were mid, and then NFL, Logan, you cooked.
Yeah, Logan cooked. My unders were fucking horrible, bro. So bad.
The unders on the wrong games.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, it was brutal.
What unders was it?
It was Ravens, Steelers.
Ravens, Steelers was
took
one
the under
on.
Cowboys, Lions.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, I took the under. I forgot that's included in this. And then I don't know if I talked about it, but I had Colts Jags too, because I don't know.
Yeah, you said that too.
I said Colts Jags. Yeah, I had Colts Jags. I knew pretty much. Oh, and Bucks Saints. Mike was on that with me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty much just on the wrong side. I knew like after the first quarter of every game that I was gonna miss all of them. So
Yeah, I picked the Commanders spread.
Oh. All right.
almost had it there.
Yeah, they only
We were close. We almost
No, it was a close game. It was competitive, really competitive.
All right, so basically we're all doing well. Logan, I calculated out the winning percentage last night. You're in ahead by like 1%.
Yeah, you're 50 and 24 is crazy.
So good job,
Yeah,
Logan.
if I predicted college basketball and football, probably different, but
So Logan, do you want to recap the UFC card from last weekend? Was it Saturday?
yeah, I mean, I'll recap it. It was a pretty just bad performance, pretty bad predictions. The first fight with Jan and Bogdan, that was just like, I personally thought that Jan won that fight, but I went to a no contest. Next one had Peyton Talbot. He absolutely destroyed Cejudo. And then sad to see my boy Brandon Moreno get knocked out by Tyara. That was his first time getting knocked out, just finished in general in the UFC, which that sucks. And then you had that fluke injury to Pantoja.
That sucked. That was gross, but that
Yeah,
sucked.
Yeah, that was a shame.
Yeah, like I did pick Joshua Van to win that fight, but like he didn't
He
win
didn't
that.
really win. I mean, he won the fight technically, but like
but that's big because I think Pantoja is going to be out a little bit. Next fight you're probably going to see is Van and Tyara. They're looking to make it in I think Japan.
Isn't that not good for Vans? I guess. Yeah. Well,
Tyara just looks amazing. But
it was funny about Pantoja because, like Mike said, talking about moving up weight classes and stuff, and like the next day it came out that Pantoja like made the mark on it, like about Merab.
Yeah, dude, that
Merab got fucking dominated.
Yeah, dude, and then we're going over to that. I mean, that main event, Merab versus Jan. Jan was not lying when he said in that first fight, his couldn't throw his right because it was injured. That was honestly, I've been watching pretty much every single card. That probably was the best performance that I've watched out of a fighter, especially 5 rounds. That was just complete. I did one judge scored at 48-47 for Jan. That's
crazy.
I had it 5-0. I mean, the most that you can give Merab is a round. But
yeah, maybe the first round.
It might have been 4-1.
That was impressive. That was impressive.
Yeah. But that pretty much wraps it up. Thursday, I'm going over the last UFC card coming up this weekend of 2025, and then a little bit of break. I believe it's like a little over a month.
Yeah, no more ESPN pay-per-views. We get to watch on Paramount Plus now.
Yeah. I'm excited. Honestly, the thing with Paramount is it's going to be bigger. Honestly, I think they're going to look more for like exciting fights. Like, so they're just going to start booking like crazy stacked cards.
They start with Patty the Batty.
Yeah, against Gaethje. That's going to be a good fight.
Yeah. So today we only have college hoops, really. And it's not too much of a slate, so this should be a relatively short episode, but we'll get into it. Starting off Tuesday is Villanova and Michigan, which Michigan is absolutely buzzing right now. They are pretty much putting on a clinic. Lendenberg's doing his thing, and Mrez Johnson, he's taking that next scoring step. He is truly a beast inside. But who I've been really impressed by is Trey McKinney. He's knocking down 41% of his long range shots as a freshman, which for a team like Michigan, where they're going to dominate, like with Mara, Johnson, and Lendenberg, having a freshman that shoots 41% from outside,
Mhm.
a really good commodity. And back to Mara, he's averaging almost a double double. Like, this team is really good, but Villanova, this is a good gut test for them. I think they've looked very good so far this year. Like, there's no shame in losing by 5 points to BYU. Outside of that, they've looked pretty good. Bryce Lindsey is looking like an awesome get out of the portal.
Big time.
And Caden Lewis, he's having a good freshman year. He can clean up his outside shot a little bit, but it's overall solid. So I like the direction that Nova is trending in. And again, they got Duke Brennan too, who's also playing well. So it might sound crazy to say, but this might be a game where it's like if Nova doesn't lose by 20 points, then it's a good sign.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Michigan's rolling. It's in Michigan. I do think. I mean, I think everybody here will be on Michigan to win. But and Nova only lost by 5 to BYU. They haven't really played much competition other than like Big Five competition. Other than that, um, they played they played Penn, they played Temple in the Big Five, and LaSalle as well, and they pretty much smoked all of them. Um, but yeah, I would expect this Villanova team to be a lot worse, and they just kind of work together. I mean, Devin Askew, who's I think he's pushing 32 years old. Bryce Lindsey's looked great. Caden Lewis, Duke Brennan, they all just meshing. Tyler Perkins like one of the only guys that stayed from prior teams. So I've been pleasantly surprised with Villanova, but this Michigan team's just a different animal. I mean, what we saw in the players era, even going into now, just impressive. And I think they'll win this game. I think the spread opened up at 15.5. I'm not really sure where I'm at on that yet. And it might just be a game I don't bet because I don't really know which way it's going to go. But I do want to say that I am pleasantly surprised with Nova.
Yeah, give me Villanova outright. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not actually taking Villanova. Yeah, Michigan, dude. So far, I think starting off the season, they looked a little shaky. And I was like, all that talent that they had, I was kind of like, it's got to click at some point, and it did. They've been, I think, the past 4 games, they've beaten everyone by at least 35 points, which is just, and 2 of them being top 25 teams, one in Gonzaga, one in Auburn, which is that's just insane. Like Gavin said, I think it's 16-point spread. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be betting this game, but Michigan, Michigan will probably beat Villanova by 20, 25 points here.
Yeah, and like looking at Michigan's schedule, I'm not saying they won't lose, but they probably shouldn't lose a game until at least January 30th when they play at Michigan State. I feel like the beginning of their Big Ten schedule is pretty favorable, which pretty much sets up into a real high stakes matchup against Duke because I don't think either of those teams are really going to be losing in maybe like a game or two until then. So Michigan, I think their schedule sets up very nicely to like through January at least to especially get things figured out going into March. It's already figured out, but to get things really going
Continue
towards
to roll.
March.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up is Penn State and Indiana in Indiana. Does anyone want to take this?
Someone else can start.
Danny, you got it.
All right. I'm really not a fan of either of these teams so far, which is a real shame because before last week I really did like Indiana, but that Minnesota loss was really bad, and they did show some fight versus Louisville. Like if they beat Minnesota, I wouldn't have really knocked them for it too much. Tucker DeVries, he really needed that bounce back game, and he got it. I think Reed Bailey has to do more in big games for Indiana, though. He's pretty inconsistent. But then on the other side, it's Penn State, who I feel like the writing is on the wall that they're going to really struggle in Big Ten play, and I'd project them to go last, if not like bottom two.
with like Rutgers or something. Yeah.
Yeah, Rutgers was exactly the team I was thinking because they have looked terrible as well. I think those two are going to be the bottom two. Like they're not Penn State isn't losing to teams that they shouldn't, which is good, but I don't think they're going to be good in games against competitive teams. One thing they can do is they can shoot the ball though, which if they can get hot, which they will eventually, they'll stay in a couple games and it'll make things tough for the other team. The backcourt trio of Mingo, DeLeon, Tonka, I don't know his last two names, they're carrying a bulk of the scoring. But just for Big Ten play, this team doesn't look too promising, and winning in Bloomington is a tough ask for a Penn State team.
Yeah, I'm with you as well. I mean, Penn State's they're just kind of skating by the skin of their teeth. Their only loss comes to Providence. I mean, that's kind of pretty much been their only game. Like they haven't played much of anybody. I think their next best opponent after that is like Navy, Harvard, maybe. So they lost Providence by 12, and I'm not very convinced. I think they're going to be bottom whatever and bottom two in the league. Indiana probably going to be a nice bounce back win for them. I know the spread opened up at 15 or 14.5. It looks like. I don't know if they'll cover that, but I do expect them to win pretty easily here.
Yeah, Penn State doesn't have a win outside of quad 4.
So I mean, listen, they're not losing to teams. They're beating teams they should beat, which is never you can't ever complain about a win. But
yeah,
I just think they're going to be outmatched, outclassed in this one in Indiana.
Especially with Mingo, it's like his first true.
It's a freshman first real road game in a tough environment. And I kind of expect Darren DeVries to have this team in tip-top shape coming into this game, just so they can get the reels or feet back under them.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best team that Penn State's going to play this year so far. I'm with you guys. I don't think Penn State's a very good team. They just haven't really played anybody other than Providence, and they lost that game. The spread's 14. Probably not betting this game, but Indiana should take care of Penn State pretty easily.
Yeah. Clemson and BYU in Madison Square Garden, I believe.
Yeah, it's in MSG. I guess I can start. Clemson's coming off a game where they only lost to Alabama by 6 points. They had a big couple runs late, or they had a big run late and a big run in the middle, early second half, which was impressive. I mean, we all didn't think Clemson was really going to keep this game close. Maybe Danny, maybe you said they were, but me and Logan definitely didn't think they were going to keep this game close. Once again, the thing that we've talked about all year is they don't have like an alpha guy. I mean, Godfrey scored the most. He had 19, but they were just a bunch of people in double digits. They still don't have that alpha, and they just weren't able to contain LeBaron Philon, which not many people can. So, I'm still just not a big fan of this Clemson team. I do think the Georgia team they beat was a good win, but I'm really not a huge fan of this Clemson team. Neutral site game does help out, but I think BYU's kind of gotten their feet under them. They lost to 2 by UConn, and then since then rattled off a huge win against Wisconsin, another 10-point win against Miami, a win against Dayton, and then just a throwaway game against Cal Baptist. They won by 30. I think the spread opened up at 5.5. I don't know if I'll take that, but I do like BYU here, at least to just win the game. I don't know. I can't get a Clemson game right, I feel like, because I know I bet against them when they played Georgia, and I think I bet against them when they played Alabama, but then I bet on West Virginia. It's just I have trouble fading them, I think. And that's right. I bet on them when they played West Virginia, and I got hooked. So
I think Georgia can't as well.
And Georgia, yeah, I bet against. So I'm 0-4 betting on a Clemson basketball game. So I just think I'd probably stay away. But if I had to put my money where my mouth is, I'd say BYU wins this game.
Yeah, I'm with that. I think BYU wins the game. Clemson has looked, that big fight against Alabama in the second half. That was wasn't expecting that, like you said, but they made it a competitive game towards the end, which I was very surprised about. And then the win against Georgia in overtime, that was pretty impressive as well. That was at Georgia too, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this Clemson team, I don't want to say like Gavin said, they just don't have like an alpha scorer. I think they just have a bunch of like solid players, but I think BYU kind of just they're going to win the game, maybe not by 5.5, maybe not by 5, 6 points, but I think BYU does get it done here at home.
Yeah, I said this last week that Clemson's going to be a tough team to blow out, and I still think so. That game could have been a lot uglier, but they had a good second half to kind of make the score look a little pretty. RJ Godfrey, like we said, he's kind of seems to be emerging as the go-to guy, but I don't know how much stock I would really put into that. I
Mhm.
think that's just gonna be their Achilles heel, like all year. They're gonna have a bunch of guys that score, but they're not gonna win the big games because that they don't have that top guy. BYU, I beginning of the year I thought they would be the biggest disappointment in the nation, and I was wrong. AJ DeBance, I didn't think he would. I thought he was more of an ISO NBA player, and I think he's bought in more than I expect him to. And the trio of him, Wright, and Saunders has just been really good. Saunders and Wright really complement DeBance so well, and the shooting has just been on. BYU, they've proven that they can hang with the best of them, and they're a better team than Clemson. And I like the big three, so I'm also going BYU. Illinois and Ohio State continuing in Big Ten play. Illinois, they had a big win versus Tennessee to get them back on track. Me and Gavin, I believe we both had them,
Mhm.
and they were plus odds, which I kind of put a decent amount of money on because I really did think Illinois would win, and they did. It was a pretty balanced effort. Stojakovic, he didn't do as much as I thought he would, but the rest of the team picked up, which was great. I've really liked Keaton Wagler so far. He has been good, and last game was more of what Tomi Ivisic is going to do. I feel like he's still getting back into it. He missed the beginning of the season, so he's still getting into the flow of it, which I like Illinois. Ohio State, I'm not very impressed by. Northwestern was a nice win, but I think I'm still hung up on that Pitt loss. Like, you just can't do that, especially because Pitt just lost to Hofstra again. So that loss is going to look really ugly when it comes to March, and they're looking for their name in the tournament.
Mhm.
Brandon Noel, he went crazy last game, which, if that has any consistency, that will really raise their ceiling. Because Bruce Thornton, he's a dog, but he has slowed down a little bit scoring, which by slowed down, I mean he was like one of the top scorers in the nation. Now he's putting up around like 18 to 20 a game. So it's pretty relative. Uh, but one of my biggest gripes with Ohio State is like the inconsistency. Like John Mobley Jr. and Tilly, it's not going to be sustainable when those two are off, and I don't like the way that's trending. So I think Illinois is going to keep their momentum and get a nice win at Ohio State.
Logan, you want to go?
Oh yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm with Danny here on Illinois. I really like this Illinois team a lot. It's just they've been battling injuries. Most like so far they've been, but I think they're kind of getting back on track with getting healthy. I know I saw Stojakovic. Did he get injured in that last game? Because I saw he only played like 20 minutes.
Is
Was
that
he
what
just?
happened?
I'm not sure. I just saw he only played like 20 minutes in that game, so I'm wondering if he got injured. But
Yeah, you
um,
might have.
yeah, I kind of want to see the injury report, but I know I've looked up multiple times the injury report throughout the year on Illinois, and like their top guys are hurt, or like some of them are out. So I would like to see this team get fully healthy and really start clicking with each other. Because once they do, I think they're going to be a really good team, and they're going to be hard to beat. So I like Illinois here to get a win at Ohio State.
He has not been injured.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess he just wasn't playing well in
He's
there.
just disappointing.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not gonna lie. This is actually a tough one for me. I do like Illinois. I've been saying it all year that I like Illinois. Um, but I also like don't mind this Ohio State team. I listen. I know their last. I mean, against Power Five teams. I know they beat Northwestern by a short margin, but I mean it's a win at Northwestern. I'll take it. The loss to Pitt is really bad, and a win against Notre Dame is starting to look better, I guess. Notre Dame's, I think, a little undervalued. They're not as bad a team as, I don't know, people thought maybe.
Notre Dame's
Um,
good.
that's what I'm saying. So they beat, I mean, it was earlier in the year, but they kept it somewhat close with Houston. They haven't really lost any bad games, Notre Dame, and they beat, like, for me, they beat Missouri, they beat TCU, who's hung in there with Michigan and teams like that. Um, so it's really a tough game for me to pick. I don't know. This is really tough for me. You know what? You guys picked Illinois. I don't really care about my record. I'm gonna take Ohio State just to be different. Um, this game could very well be a 20-point win for Illinois, and I have no doubt about that. And I wouldn't be upset because they've beaten Texas Tech. They've beaten Texas Tech. They beat Tennessee. Um, I don't know. I just feel like if at home, it's like a first like real tough home game for Ohio State. They probably have their full crowd jumping. If their team is on shooting wise, like Danny said with John Mobley Jr. and Tilly, and if Bruce Thornton's playing like he can, they will score points with the best of them. And I'll just take a shot here on Ohio State. It'll dictate whether I ever put my money on them again. But I'd like to see Ohio State get this win. I think it'd be a great environment. And if they're hot, they are one of the most dangerous teams in the country just with their weapons. So.
Yeah, I like these early December Big Ten games. I feel like it's fun just to get into conference play.
Yeah.
Our game of the night, though, is Florida and UConn at MSG, along with that BYU game.
I guess I can start this one. UConn, I mean, Madison Square Garden. We know UConn and MSG, what that's like. Florida's coming off a good loss against Duke. They kind of brought that game back. They were out. It seemed like they were out of it and then kind of just brought it back in. They lost to TCU, who I don't know. TCU's surprising. TCU's like, I have no idea what this team's about. I seriously have no clue what TCU does because they'll win and then they'll just look hard. They'll just come out and look like the worst team you've ever watched in your
They
life.
may be a power conference merchant.
Seriously, I mean, losing to Michigan and then beating Florida and then beating Wisconsin, beating North Texas, and then keeping it close to Notre Dame. It's just like I don't know. So Florida losing to them, I'm not going to weigh too heavy on it because TCU, I guess, is just a giant killer. But I'm going to say UConn's back. UConn has looked phenomenal. Florida kind of figured a little something out there with playing through Houck and Condon instead of trying to play through Boogie Flan, Xavier Lee, which I do like, and I think it'll work for them. But I'm just not comfortable fading UConn right now, so I'm going to take UConn to win this game. It's 4.5-point spread, I think it is. Yeah, 4.5. So
4.5 for you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm on UConn as well here. Where's Terrace Reed? Like, actually, I know he's been hurt, but like, is he like gonna play against Florida or what?
I don't know. Let me see
another game time decision. Last time I saw.
Oh, is it? Yeah, let me check. That does take a factor because Florida's bigs are pretty unbelievable. So
I think he's been out the past 2 weeks.
Well, 20 minutes ago, Terrace Reed Jr. participated in practice the last 2 days, which is unlike the last 2 games when he was not playing.
All right, so maybe he does play.
But yes, game time decision.
Yeah,
but he was a participant in practice. So
yeah, I mean, that would, yeah, but either way, honestly, even with Reed, without Reed, I think UConn still gets it done here, like at MSG. Florida looked very, very good against Duke. They looked much improved. I know Danny was probably getting a little scared there for his Duke team, but eventually, Duke ended up winning by 1 point. But I just, UConn, you just can't fade them at home. It's just hard. Can't do it. So I'm going to take UConn here.
At home.
Well, yeah, but it's
basically a home game. This game's tough, though. This game's as tough as the Ohio State game.
Yeah. So. I'm going to go on the opposite side of you guys. I'm going to go Florida. Florida really needs a win. Like, they really need a big win. And like UConn, they got a really nice win in Allen Fieldhouse. I was impressed by Carabin, which I don't really say much. I think I'm a D1 Alex Carabin hater. Yeah. But even if Terrace Reed plays, he's not 100%, obviously. And Florida's front court is so good, and they proved it. Like, in the game against Duke, Duke and Florida both proved that they're two of the top 5 front courts in the nation. Like Hauk was unbelievable. I like Condon and Chinyulu, and I think that's gonna pose real trouble for UConn. Like especially if Reba has to start, like he's a freshman going against those guys, and it's going to be a real issue. And the end of the second half and down the stretch, besides that last like possession turnover, I liked what Boogie Flan was doing. Like they were running the pick and roll a lot and getting him and Chinyulu going. So I liked what Boogie Flan was doing. He was hitting his shots. I think sooner rather than later, we're going to see Clavsar take over the starting spot for Xavier Lee.
He's bad,
It's
man.
it's just it's too it's just so bad, and I feel bad because I like Xavier Lee. I know Duke was, like, looking at him, which I didn't want him, but I still like the kid, and I have been impressed by Clavsar. His playmaking has been good. Like, against Duke, he broke through the double and threw that oop to one of the big white Florida centers. So, I I think Florida, they have some real motivation to really they need this win, and I think the front court, they're gonna start getting into the flow and getting back into what Florida should
I
be.
mean, I agree with you that they need this win. It's just it's tough for me to fade Danny Hurley and MSG. UConn is such a
100%.
physical, just tough team. Like it's just it's a tough way to like Florida does need a win, but catching UConn the way they are right now,
Yeah.
it's a tough task.
I honestly just don't like Caravan's matchup versus Hulk.
And then I understand that, but I at the end of the day, like if I had to trust somebody as much as I'll take Alex Caravan every time.
Yeah.
He's been there, he's done it.
I mean, I think it's gonna be a very good game, like, regardless. But what was the spread at?
4.5 UConn.
Interesting. I'm gonna pick Florida, just part contrarian. Wisconsin, Nebraska, Big Ten play Wednesday night. I think that's going to be a phenomenal game in Nebraska. Nebraska, Nebraska's buzzing. Like Mast, he has been phenomenal. He's shooting great, and their last 2 games they have looked very good. They took care of Northwestern, and then they demolished Marquette. Wait, was that
That's
Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.
Yeah, my bad. Wisconsin, they looked a lot better in their last 2 games. Nebraska's looked pretty good the whole season. They're undefeated. But Wisconsin, like I took them versus BYU and they got shit on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think their last 2 games they looked a lot better. Northwestern and Marquette, like I said, wrong red Big Ten team. Blackwell and Boyd, they're one of the highest scoring duos, and Blackwell is absolutely on fire as of late. And then you pair this with Nolan Winter, who is like almost a double-double machine. I think I like Nebraska, but I think Wisconsin gets a good win on the road, and they're 1-0 in Big Ten play, I believe. So I think they improved to 2-0.
Yeah. I think, I'm with you here on Wisconsin as well. I think Blackwell's I think he's going to be the best player on the court here. I liked this Nebraska team. They've made me some money so far this year, but I think I guess this is probably going to be their hardest game yet. It looks like it. So it's going to be the hardest game yet against Wisconsin. I think they've looked great the past 2 games, and I'm just going to take Wisconsin here to come to Nebraska and win.
Yeah, I think Nebraska kind of due for a loss. They've looked great and they can score, man. I mean, it's kind of unbelievable. But I don't know. Their wins: Oklahoma, New Mexico, Kansas State. Like they're decent wins. Kansas State's kind of whatever. New Mexico's also not as good as we thought, and Oklahoma sucks. And then they beaten Creighton, and Creighton isn't very good.
No.
I'll take Wisconsin. Yeah, I think I like where Danny was going with the big win on the road. Coming off a nice Big Ten win against Northwestern, and then beating Marquette, who's not a great team, but it's a decent win. Lost TCU, which I don't know. Like I said, this TCU team, man, I have no idea. I really don't. It's pretty much like Russian roulette. But I'll take Wisconsin too. I mean, go on the road, get a nice win. It'll boost their resume, and I think Nebraska's kind of due for a loss. I don't think they're as good as their record says, in my opinion.
Yeah, and unfortunately, their power conference wins have those teams they beat have kind of folded. Like you said, Oklahoma, Kansas State, Creighton, like they're all. I think Kansas State and Creighton are both 5-4, and Oklahoma's like 6-3.
Yeah, they're
So
not good.
yeah. And our last game through Thursday for college hoops, it's a good one, good rivalry. Iowa at Iowa State. Gavin, you want to start this?
Yeah, I can start this. I don't. I hate to give them credit, but I have to give credit where credit's due. Iowa State is absolutely unbelievable. I am beyond impressed with what they've shown me. I hate Iowa State. I always have for whatever reason. Um, I think Iowa's just coming into a freaking buzzsaw in Ames too. Um, it I I feel like this has the tendency, the potential to get ugly. Will it? I don't know, but it's definitely flirting there. Michigan State beat Iowa by 19, and this Iowa State team it actually looks unbelievable. It's almost like, oh, are they going to cool off? But in a rivalry game, I don't see it. I feel like the spread's going to open up. Well, I think on Torvik it said 8.5, which I don't know. That's a tough number to get there, but I'll just take Iowa State to win this game. Milan Machilovic is, dude, he's so good. He's just
He
so
was hit.
good.
He looked like Dirk in that
Yes,
game.
dude. I mean, and I bet on Purdue, and they kicked the shit out of Purdue. It was crazy. I was couldn't believe what I was seeing. Now, TKR probably, I mean, he looked like me out there. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but I'm gonna take Iowa State to win this game, and I'd be very worried if I was Iowa because they just lost against a good team, and now they're coming to it. I don't know. I'd be scared at Michigan State and at Iowa State. Iowa State's a tough place to play.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I mean, I think we're all gonna be here on the same page with Iowa State. I don't really think that's it's really not too much up for debate here. Iowa State they look like the best team right now. They look just unbelievable. And then at Purdue winning by, was it 20? Like, yeah, around like a little more than 20.
23. Yeah.
Yeah. That's just like, that's
Held Purdue to
crazy.
58 points.
Yeah, and that was I believe that was Lipsey's first game back in a little bit, and he
Mhm.
only had 9 points. So like, what happens when Lipsey, Lipsey gets back on track with the scoring? What are they going to start doing to teams? Like
Yeah.
that's Purdue that you're talking about, like where everyone was talking. Oh, they're
Not
probably
some
number one.
pushover. Agreed.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm taking Iowa State here. Even 8.5. That to me that still seems too low for Iowa State and what they're doing right now. So yeah, taking Iowa State here.
Yeah, I mean, first touch on that Lipsy thing. You said once he gets back scoring, but if he's having like 8 assists and Buchanan,
Oh,
Momcilovic, Torre, they're all going, then he doesn't really have to. He can kind of facilitate the game more. But I said, like, for a couple weeks now, I think this trio is the best big three in college basketball, and I still believe so. Like, Lipsy came back, and they just looked unreal. Momcilovic was straight up unguardable. They shut TKR down like I've never seen before and forced 6 turnovers on Braden Smith, which at Purdue is insane. Iowa, I like Iowa. They're a good team, but they're running into a buzzsaw essentially. I think they're too reliant on Sturts as well. Like they need that second option. I was hoping to see more out of like Koch and Manuwu against Michigan State, and I think they only had like 6 apiece, which the Big Ten, it's tough environments like on the road. It's going to be an issue. The lack of firepower, just it's not that much. It's not a recipe for success against a team like Iowa State, especially on the road. You're going to need more weapons than just one guy. And it might stay close just for the rivalry's sake, but I'm going Iowa State, no question.
Basically, bomb versus coughing baby. What it is.
And so that wraps up the college basketball, but we just had the college football selection show and bracket reveal yesterday, so we thought it'd be a good idea to walk through that. So I guess early bracket reactions. Does anyone, I guess, nerd in? We can start on that topic since that's kind of
Yeah.
seems to be.
Good. I'll start off good. I hate Notre Dame. They suck.
Yeah, if you're a Notre
Um,
Dame fan, this might not be the best
yeah, listen.
podcast for college
Join a
football to
conference.
listen to.
That's where I'll go. Is join a conference. You want a chance to get in, join a conference. I do got to say it's kind of crazy. I don't know how the rankings, how that Miami jumped them when nothing really happened. So that aspect, I'm like kind of, I don't know. They once again need to fix the format. Not a prediction, a solution I offered. I've been talking to our friend Nick Stout about it. I'd like for the 11 and 12 seed. I think Tulane and JMU kind of earned their spots to not necessarily be there, but be in the conversation. But then I think you should throw Duke and then maybe the next team to have like a play-in game to the 11 and 12. And they could play this Saturday or they could play next Saturday because the first games don't start till the 20th. Wait, they can't play next Saturday, but they can play this Saturday during Army Navy. It's just a little bit more college football. It's one extra game, but most of those teams wouldn't have played in a conference championship except for the group of 5 teams. So I think a playing game, so you basically just add 2 more teams, and a playing game you get like James Madison, for instance, would play Duke, or they play Notre Dame, and then Tulane would play Duke or Notre Dame, or even like I don't know if you can put a 5-loss Duke in there, but like maybe Vanderbilt gets a shot. Like Vanderbilt plays one of those teams and Notre Dame plays the other. And then you really see, or you have JMU play Tulane and Notre Dame play Vanderbilt. So it's maybe more of a fair game because I think Notre Dame and Vanderbilt beat both of those teams by a significant margin. But yeah, I'm happy Notre Dame's not in. I think they need to join a conference and they need a conference. And I know they've been playing the ACC schedule, but they need to be in the Big Ten because I think that's a more realistic. The Big Ten and Notre Dame just seems right. Like that's the kind of football Notre Dame plays. They will win the ACC every year until Marcus Freeman, which he might leave, but every year Notre Dame will win that ACC. And if they don't win it, they'll be in second and still be up there. I mean, they're a good program, don't get me wrong, but they need to be in the Big Ten, not the ACC. And I'll die on that hill. That is Big Ten football to a T, what they are with Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, I'm also happy they didn't make it, not just solely because I don't like Notre Dame, but like it's kind of like you're not going to play anyone, like you're not going to get rewarded for it. They haven't beat a team. I think their best win, USC, finished at 16, so they haven't beat a team in the top 15, and they lost both games, and their one was head-to-head to Miami. I think the committee did mess up, like not committee, but the AP poll. I think Miami just should have been ahead of them in general rather than just like being okay, I'm gonna put them behind, but if both teams win out, then we're suddenly gonna jump them. Like I feel like that part didn't make sense. But I also don't think Notre Dame sitting out of a bowl game is gonna have the effect that they think they think it is.
I think it's so stupid these teams sitting out of bowl games. It's like they're like a middle school girl throwing a little fit. Like, grow up. I mean, like I don't know if your players want to sit out, which I also hate, like take NIL money from them, but like I don't know, those backups might need film if they want to transfer or something. Like I just think it's so stupid. It's like throwing a temper tantrum, dude. Like whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I'm happy Notre Dame's not in it. I honestly don't love the first round of games. Ole Miss already played Tulane and beat them by 35. I don't really expect much different. I know it might be with Lane Kiffin leaving. I don't see Oregon James Madison. Once again, I hope James Madison keeps it close and even wins. I just can't really see it. But I want to apologize to the state of Indiana football. Wow. The fact that they beat Ohio State, I actually couldn't believe it watching that game.
I thought that was the lock of the year.
I would have been willing to put my mortgage on it if I had one. That was crazy. But I just Oklahoma, like it's kind of funny because 2 of the games in the first round have already happened this year, and now they're happening again. So like Ole Miss, Tulane, and Alabama, Oklahoma already happened. I don't know. Like if I had to put my money, I'd still say I think Ohio State's going to win the national championship. But it's just unfortunate because I really can't see any of these top 4 teams losing a football game. I especially after what happened in the SEC championship with Georgia, that kind of crushed my doubts. And then Texas Tech looked unbelievable. I mean, they looked so good. And if I could get a Texas Tech versus Indiana and Ohio State versus Georgia, I would love that. I think that'd be great. Great football. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to see. I think we're doing the predictions or bets next week.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll get more in depth in it next
But
week.
I am looking forward to this. I think the first round of games, they might be okay. Alabama, Oklahoma, it's going to be like whoever kicks the most field goals. I don't see any of them scoring. It's going to be a rock fight. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to see. I am looking forward to it though. So go Texas Tech for Danny's sake, right?
I love Texas Tech's draw. Like I had them to win the Big 12. Shout out Ryan at plus 240. That's smacked. And I have them to make the semis and to make the finals. And I'm not a huge Oregon fan, to be honest. I think Texas Tech is going to match up well against them. And so I think they will win that game and make the semis and hit that bet. And then my bold take is that whoever wins Bama and Oklahoma is also going to beat Indiana. I think this team is going to run out a bit. I don't know if it's the past tell me that Indiana is still that
Indiana team. I don't want that to happen because I'm tired of the SEC Big Ten narratives. I'm tired of them. I hope Indiana wipes the dog shit with that, just wipes the field with them, and then I hope A&M beats Miami, so Ohio State beats the shit out of A&M and just shows that the Big Ten's the superior conference.
Yeah,
and then if they could just dog walk Georgia, Ole Miss, that'd be great too. I'd be cool with that.
I still think Ohio State 20 balls out.
I mean, how awesome would it be to see Indiana and Ohio State again in the Natty? That'd be pretty freaking cool. And I think once again, I feel like it. I mean, it did happen last year. Ohio State needed that one loss to fucking kick everything into gear, and they just got that one loss where they only put up 10 points. I hope I don't have to eat shit for this, but I feel bad for any team that has to play them here on out. Miami and Texas A&M are running into I don't know. That first game at least. Oh my God.
It's not going to be close.
Carson Beck might actually shit himself on the field if he wins, and Marcel Reed might die. I don't know.
So, Logan, you have anything?
Not really. Other than fuck Notre Dame, that's really the only thing that I have to add, if we're being completely honest.
That's good enough too.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, I am fully on the Red Raider train, so
I'll be rooting for him too. Who knows?
I think they would beat Indiana, to be honest.
Jesus Christmas! I just can't say that after Indiana beat Ohio State.
It's.
You got balls.
I'm in denial. I'm in denial, to be honest.
And I just don't think Texas Tech. I'd be worried if they played Oregon. I really would be. I wouldn't want to play Oregon at all. I mean, I don't think Oregon's all that great, but I also just Texas Tech beat BYU twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
Killed them both times.
Who else? That they beat? Kansas? Utah? They haven't beat anybody. I don't think BYU is all that good either.
See, they haven't beat anyone, but they've also killed everyone.
They lost to Arizona State, though.
Their quarterback was out, and they turned it over. They should have had 4 turnovers, which they didn't have. It was very unlucky, and their quarterback's getting healthy.
I mean, Texas Tech's defense is great. Don't get me wrong, but BYU ain't all that great. I don't think BYU's that good, and I'll keep backing up to it. Big Ten football, everybody shits on it until you have to play a Big Ten team, and you get punched in the mouth. And if I'm Texas Tech playing Oregon, you better be on your best game because Dan Lanning will find a way, and they're going to get punched in the mouth like they've never been punched in the mouth before. It's Big Ten, and people shit on it, but until you play it, look at last year. I mean, until you play it, I don't want to hear anything about it.
Yeah. So again, we'll get more into that next weekend, and we'll go more in depth the first round games. But that pretty much wraps it up. It's not too much going on this week into this weekend. So we hope you have a nice, relaxing week. I know we have finals, right?
Yeah, and the Birds play tonight. I mean,
and Birds play tonight. Go Birds!
Go Birds is right.
Hope is low, but hopefully Birds win. So we'll see you probably Thursday.
See you guys.
See you.
Yeah.